about to say?
Well, I was just telling you that I didn't even finish that Bount Arc. I watched like 20 episodes of it, and it really was just dragging out for like forever.
It was, yeah. It definitely dragged out, and it definitely was like longer than it should have been. And that's kind of where I stopped and went to the last episode too. Was when they got into the Soul Society arc, because that was like, bruh, it's one of the, not want to say it's the one of the worst fillers, but it's like I just want to get past this part.
It was I told you I watched all that Naruto filler. I couldn't get through this one. Like it was really, you said it was demotivating. I thought that was like the excellent term for it, because I like stopped watching anime altogether because of this arc. I like watched maybe like 15 episodes, and then I just stopped watching. And then I didn't pick it back up for like a month, and I tried watching like 10 more episodes, and then I just had to skip to the end of it.
That's essentially borderline what happened to me too. I got to like when they were part of the Soul Society arc, and I just could not get past those episodes. I said, you know what? I just need a break. But then I came back to it. I was like, nah. I watched like 2 episodes. I said, I'm just gonna skip to the end.
So they weren't even really like fighting. They were fighting the bounced dolls. It was weird. It was just like the whole fighting concept was weird. They would just summon these dolls, and they would fight the dolls.
Yeah, that was, I mean, it had a cool premise. It's just that it's like, why were they vampires? What did it have to do with anything? The whole, like, how they put it together was kind of bad.
Yeah, I just wasn't really interested in any of the enemies.
Yeah, and then like,
And just when they were getting beat up by them, it made me mad. I'm like, why are they getting beat up by these? None of them really seemed that tough, and they were kind of kicking their ass a little bit.
they were basically immortal.
Yeah, but I would just see like Renji getting his ass kicked, and for some reason you thought he was going to be one of my favorite characters.
But look, he still has some character development. I think you'll grow to like him, but I can't really remember because I think that we've already passed the point where he was the main part of the story. He doesn't really get much screen time after this.
You just thought he was more so when they were trying to save Rukia. I mean, they're keeping him around even since. I'm really glad that as soon as I skipped past that Bount arc, I feel like it actually picked up immediately. I'm already really interested in these Iran cars and the Espada.
Yes.
And the visors. Because I was almost done with the show. Honestly, I thought the filler was that bad.
I knew it. It was taking a long time. I was like, bro, this is demotivating. I would not be surprised if he just did not want to watch it because of this filler arc. But I was like, it definitely picks back up after the filler arc. It was pretty rough to swallow. I knew there was a reason why the second time I rewatched it all the way through, I didn't even pay attention to the Bount arc. I just skipped it. I was like, I don't need to watch it anymore. Yeah, I definitely skipped it the second time I watched it.
I did skip to like where he fought Karia, but even that fight, I didn't think that fight was really all that great either, though.
Yeah, so I watched I skipped to that part too. I watched like the first 15 seconds, and I was like, nah, I don't need to see this either. I don't even want to know how the fight ends. He won. Let's get back to the main story.
Yeah, I forgot to read up on it because Uryuu got his powers back, but then I guess he lost him again because in the part that we're at now, he's like fighting his dad, trying to get his powers back. I don't know how he lost his powers the second time.
I think he put out too much spiritual energy, and when he got back to his world, he was getting spiritual energy from the Reishi, or whatever you call that, from inside the Soul Society arc. But that wasn't present in the human world because not everything it's made out of. I think it's called Reishi.
Yeah. But that lieutenant who was underneath the research and development captain, she like went to Earth and gave him his Quincy powers back. She did something.
It must have been something he did in the Soul Society arc. He just didn't. His powers, I think it was only a temporary solution. It wasn't a permanent solution. So his powers were going to go away at the end.
Yeah, anybody that wants to leave a comment that actually powered through that arc, they can tell us what happened to Uryuu and what's going on with him losing his powers again. But
that was terrible. I know never to like ever watch that filler arc ever again if I ever decided to rewatch Bleach.
And the Soul Society part could have even been cooler than the first half of that arc, but I was just already done with it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because I watched up till Karya pretty much went into the Soul Society, and then I dropped it. And maybe those scenes, those fights in there were cooler than they were on Earth, but
no, it wasn't. Even on to that part, I specifically remember it was just not. It was cool when I was a kid because I feel like, I'm just watching the anime, getting through the story. Even though the quality is lower back then, I didn't know to like look up what the filler episodes were. I just watched the whole thing straight through. But like now knowing that's like purely anime, has nothing to do with the manga, I'm just like, bro, nah, get that out of here.
they don't even have that in the manga.
No, it's completely like
No, they didn't even have to make it then.
it was to give him time
Right.
to finish writing a portion of Bleach, actually follow the manga.
I guess I would have just dropped it and had people like on the edge of their seat, like waiting for the new season to come out, because that almost killed the show for me.
Maybe that's what they should have done, but they want to keep their fans interested. It's pretty early in the show. Besides that, you got your captains. You have who I think are the most interesting, the Ronkars. I think Okiura is like probably my favorite one as well. But I do hold high esteem to Grimmjow Jaggerjack.
Well, you've obviously seen the whole show, so maybe he does some cooler stuff later on. That's why you're riding with him. But I just saw Kaname pretty much put him in his place, and Kaname got his butt kicked by Kenpachi. So I don't know how strong Grimmjow actually is.
I mean,
but then Grimmjow beat Ichigo, who beat Kenpachi. So I'm trying to understand this like power dynamic. Like, why was Kaname beating up Grimmjow?
All Tozen did was like slice his arm off once. He didn't really attack him. I think if they went head to head, Grimmjow would have won. We don't know.
I would think he would have the reflexes to defend that.
Maybe he had the reflexes. He just didn't think that his partner would like slice off his own arm. Like,
so he let his guard down.
Huh?
Yeah, he let his guard down.
Yeah, he let his guard down, and then that's why he got his arm got sliced off. But if they were like to be like, "Hey, look, fight me. I'm gonna fight you." I think it would be a very different situation if they came both to the fight with the intention of fighting each other.
I guess I feel like he knew he was gonna get disciplined somehow, and he didn't even try and stop it.
Probably disciplined by Aizen, or maybe he just had no idea he would get disciplined. He was like, "Yo, this is how we run things around here. I don't think I did anything wrong."
And I think they said he's not gonna get his arm back. Like, you obviously would know, but they were saying he's not gonna get his arm back. Yami, when he got his arm chopped off, he got it put back, and he actually like killed the person that put his arm back.
He had to test it to make sure it works. I see nothing wrong with that.
I thought there was something like really wrong with that. It made me kind of think of that Elfenlied scene where Bonzo was messing with his arm, but they were actually like telling him that he would be losing something of his. They were going to take his balls off, whereas they weren't going to be taking anything from Yami. So I thought it was really unnecessary that he threw that girl against the wall.
Well, he was testing the strength of his arm, and he was like, if it was 100%, she would have blown up. So he knew he wanted to gauge his strength for when he goes back into battle.
What is anyone's incentive to ever help him out ever again? What if he goes out to another battle, loses another arm, he comes back? No, they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna even.
Well, what if he grabs you? Like, hey, look, I'm gonna smash right against the wall if you don't fix my arm. You're gonna.
They'll be like, all right, try and do it with one arm. We're not gonna give you a second arm to do it.
I feel like you can say that, but when he's grabbing you, it's a different story.
Well, still, what is the incentive? He's gonna throw you against the wall regardless.
I mean, that's true, but at least you can survive. Well, look, you'll be better prepared. All you have to do is get his arm like 90% done, and then you be like, "Hey, look, be right back. Your arm's basically finished. I have to go check on something," and you just don't come back.
But just why even bother doing it? I would do it 0%.
Nah, because
with the hindsight of knowing that he's gonna. I mean, that one girl, she didn't know that was gonna happen. I would assume she didn't know, but then every other like doctor, nurse, or whatever is gonna know.
But look, if you say 0%, you don't help him at all. You're dead right there. You say, "Yeah, I'll help you." Only help him 90%. You've created in a way for you to escape with your life.
I guess you just don't ask him if he's all right. She could have healed him 100% and then just never came back.
She could have done that as well. I think that probably would have been a good plan to get you out of there. But either way, at least his arm didn't get burned and like disintegrated. So he was able to get his arm back. Grimjow does not.
I didn't even realize Yami was an Espada at first.
Oh, because he was number 10? Or because he like got smacked by Ichigo?
Because he got smacked by Ichigo. I thought he was just an Arankar like the other ones that came with Grimjow.
No, he's an Espada. So from 10 to 1. Yeah, Yami's number 10. You met Grimjow number 6. And did you see what number Ulquiorra was?
I did not, but
so no, okay, don't worry about it. Because it hasn't shown it yet. Then
okay.
I couldn't remember. I know if you haven't noticed it, then it definitely hasn't shown what number he is, which is good. But I think those three, they're pretty good on cards. I like them as characters. Yami kind of annoys me a little bit. I would definitely say that he's my least favorite.
Yeah, of those three, I would say the same. But I'm curious to see who some of the other ones are. But what makes them Espada versus the other people that were rolling with them when they went to Earth?
So there's like it's like 3 levels.
There was like number 15 and 16, I believe, that went to Earth.
Yeah, so it was number 15, 16, and 11. There's 5 of them in total. I can't remember what the numbers are, but it only tells you like the spot only ranked from 10 to 1.
Yeah.
10th is the weakest one, 1 is the strongest one. 11 on up, that's just in what order they were born. So it doesn't matter how much power they have. They just aren't one of the chosen 10.
So is it just a title that Aizen gave them, or is there something specifically that's different about them other than just being more powerful?
What do you mean?
Like, were they created a different way? Is that why they're the Espada, or is it just he gave them that title?
They were just born with they're just born stronger than their peers. It's like
Were they
like think
all
of
made with the Hokyokyu though?
What's that?
Were they all made from the Hokyokyu?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I wasn't sure if just the 10 were, and then the other Rankar were just they became a Rankar on their own. I wasn't sure if the 10 were ranked higher because Aizen did something to them. Or maybe he did something to all of them. I'm not sure. Do you like how in these more recent episodes they're showing more of Squad 11? I'm trying to remember the bald guy's name.
Oh, Ikkaku?
Yeah, he's pretty high on my list. He might be one of my favorites. I haven't seen Kenpachi in a while. They haven't shown him in that many episodes recently, but those two guys might be my favorite in the show.
I do like them. I do like Ikkaku.
I even like the eyebrow dude, Yumichika. Yeah, even his weird eyebrows, like he's still cool just because he's rolling with that squad. I feel like they're definitely the most powerful. It looks like.
They're the most powerful in that squad.
Well, they were saying Ikkaku could have been a captain or a lieutenant.
He could have been a lieutenant. Well, they wanted him to be the captain. I would say that's like how the Arankar are. Like the 10 Arankars are like the captains of the Gote squad.
Yeah.
And then you have your like your lieutenants under them. That would be like the second rank Arankars. And you saw what happened when Renji first faced Byakuya. There was like a gap in the power that they have.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like that. It's like, but yeah, they wanted Ikkaku to become a captain after Aizen left, but I don't think he would have been a good captain. Oh, yeah, I don't know if he would have. He would have been one of the lower level captains, I would say. It would be like.
You think like, he might be as strong as Toshiro?
No. It would essentially be like Tsunade become a Hokage. Like, yes, she has the qualities of being an Hokage, and she has like a Kage level power. But is she going to be the 4th Hokage? No. Is she going to be the 3rd Hokage? Hell no. Especially in his prime. Is she going to be the 2nd or the 1st? No. If Ikkaku became a captain, it'd be like Ikkaku versus Byakuya. It would be like Ikkaku versus Kenpachi. Like it'd be like he has, I guess, like that captain level power, but he would get squashed by the other captains. There'd just be no competition.
I really didn't think Kaname was that strong. but then I just saw him chop off Gringel's arm, so now I don't know what to think of him.
I mean, Kenpachi might have just been a bad matchup for him based on his ability.
Yeah, because of the sensory deprivation, I feel like that's pretty good. Is that his Bankai?
Yeah, like it's something that can like take over your senses and you can't feel or hear nothing except when you get stabbed. That's pretty good against a guy who doesn't use his senses to fight. It's like,
Yeah, it could have just been the matchup, like you're saying. Maybe that's what it comes down to.
but I think Byakuya would still beat him. Or maybe like
Ichigo pretty much went toe to toe with Byakuya, and Ichigo was, I thought he was kind of weak back then. But I guess he did beat Kenpachi, so I kind of think all these fights, who beats who is really inconsistent, I feel like.
What do you mean? It's just like sports, you know. Some teams beat other teams. Other like just like teams beat good teams. There's just people who find someone has to win.
I'm just not used to seeing it like that in these fighting animes, because usually if one guy beats another and then they lose to someone else, that person that beat them isn't going to be losing to the first person the other guy beat.
But see, this lets you know it's all about the matchup. It's like I'll take it back to Pokemon. If you have a water Pokemon facing a fire type Pokemon and the water Pokemon wins, that does not necessarily mean this water Pokemon is going to take down a leaf type Pokemon.
Yeah, and then the fire is going to beat the leaf. It really is like that, but I don't usually see it like that in these fighting shows, so it's kind of interesting.
It does make it pretty interesting, but I can also say like, what if Tozen he lost to Kenpachi? So from the time he lost to Kenpachi to the time we see him chopping Grimjow's arm off, he's been training so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, but Grimjow beat Ichigo pretty easily, and Ichigo beat Kenpachi. So that's the interesting part to me is the outcomes of all those matchups. Would lead me to think that Kaname is kind of weak, but then he sliced up Grimjow, so now I don't know.
But I'm saying though, like he lost to Kenpachi at the beginning, but if he's trained to like Grimjaw comes in with his own power, but if Tozen is trained to get higher than what that power is, he'd be stronger to him by the time that he's met him.
Yeah, Aizen must have like whipped him in shape pretty quick.
Exactly. Maybe if Tozen faces Kenpachi now, what if Tozen destroys Kenpachi? Then it'd be like, yeah, he's obviously trained since the first time they fought.
Well, then I want to see the rematch. I want to see more Kenpachi. I like that they're showing Ikkaku, but I feel like they need some more of a Kenpachi and his lieutenant. I haven't even really seen fight that much.
That is true.
I just know she's really quick.
She's really quick. Maybe she's a different type of lieutenant. She can just be like a healing type of lieutenant or something.
Yeah, I'll have to see because I'm guessing she's stronger than Ikkaku if she's the lieutenant.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, I guess there's a reason why they didn't ask her to be a captain, though.
Well, I don't know. She might be younger than Toshiro.
So who would you take in a fight, Renji or Ikkaku?
Yeah, no, Ikkaku all the way.
Interesting.
No, I think I told you, he's one of my favorites. I think he's really strong.
Oh yeah, I do enjoy him as a character. I would have chosen Renji, but I respect the choice.
Rangiku was fighting that Arankar in that filler, and then Ikkaku just showed up in like 2 seconds and destroyed it.
Yeah, I
When
mean,
they first before they knew it was multiplying, like when they saw the first one, Ikkaku just came up and like destroyed him, and Rangiku was struggling.
You know, Ikkaku's definitely good. Yeah.
And he killed that one Arankar. They had a pretty epic battle, I would say. The one that was shooting fire at him.
That one was actually pretty cool. Toshiro, he got lucky with his fight because
I feel like Renji only won his fight because the Soul Society gave him more power at the end.
That's how all three of them won the fight.
But that's not how Ikkaku won it, was it? I thought Ikkaku just won it.
Think so. Who was the? Yeah, that was right. Because
yeah, so he didn't need the power up.
Who did?
Unless I'm mistaken, but I didn't think he got the power up.
No, who's the three people that got the power up? It was the
Rangiku, Toshiro, and Renji.
Yeah. So Ikkaku didn't even need it, but like Ikkaku was not. It must have been a weaker Rancor because Ikkaku was not stronger than the captain.
Than Toshiro.
Yeah, Toshiro.
Well, he might have been fighting the toughest one though.
It's true. Yeah, I mean the toughest one was he said like the numbers don't really matter, but he was number 11, so he was like literally the first Urahara born after the Espada.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really think Renji's that strong. I'm trying to think of who he's really beaten.
I mean, but he's gone against Byakuya. He's gone
But
against
he loses to all of them.
huh?
They just show him lose to all of them. I could go against LeBron James and lose. I could go against Michael
Yes,
Jordan and lose.
exactly. He's taking on these heavyweights. You haven't really seen anybody get like he's like the bottom level of the heavyweight class. He's not part of that heavyweight class. He got smacked by Kenpachi at the beginning. He got smacked by Ichigo when Ichigo fell into the Soul Society. He said, "Yo, fuck is this dude doing out here?"
I need to go back and watch that fight because I don't remember if he got smacked.
He lost, and like him losing, and my boy's getting smacked.
I'm trying to remember if he even lost. I thought that he might have just let him go because I thought they agreed to like fight again or something.
Well, he said like I lost. You need to go ahead and kill me. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not going to kill you because I want to fight you again."
You could be right.
Yeah, and then he like he like went unconscious, and then the dude used like whatever medicine he had in his sword to heal both of them, and said, "If I didn't heal you, then you would have bled to death."
I don't know. I guess if Ichigo was beating him when Ichigo didn't really know how to do anything, that kind of looks bad for my argument. I did write down one funny line from the Bount arc. There's this part where Chad, Nova, and Rangiku are fighting one of the Bounts that can. He has like this fish thing that can go into other dimensions.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and then there was just one part where Chad was telling Rangiku to run, and that like pretty much him and Nova would sacrifice themselves to let her get away. And the whole time I was thinking like, why are you speaking for Nova right now? He might not want to be sacrificed with you.
Yeah, that was he put him he volunteered for the job and everything. I'd have been like, nah, see, this is what we're not gonna do.
Yeah.
But that was actually that bout fight wasn't that bad. I did enjoy that one.
Yeah, I thought that Bount had an interesting power. And then actually in the most recent filler from like 128 to 131 or something, the person that they were fighting could go into other dimensions, kind of like that fish could.
That's true, and he can replicate himself.
Yeah, which that filler wasn't anywhere close to as bad in my mind. I mean, it was still filler, but I thought the enemy they were fighting had a pretty interesting power.
It's true. Yeah, it was not as bad as it's not nearly as bad as the bout one, but it's because they like drafted up a whole like whole horrible story in order to go along with it.
And this is going back to Nova, but I don't know why they're still running around in that puppet form all the time.
That's a good question. I mean, you have Khan; he still stays in his little teddy bear,
But
but
he got like lives in there. He doesn't really have his own body. He's either in that body or he's in Ichigo's body. But Nova and the other two, whose names I can't remember, but they like had their own bodies.
maybe it makes it easier for them to travel with them, just because they can be like in their book bag or something like that. So
Yeah,
probably use those bodies mostly, I guess, when there's danger around, and then there are other human bodies when they have to like come out as like reinforcements, like when they try to save Renji.
it made sense in the Bount arc, but I don't know why they're still doing it. Because before they were saying they were the only ones that could detect the bounce, so they had to have them on them. But
Well,
what's their excuse now?
their excuse now is like they don't know in their minds they don't know that's ever going to happen again, so they might as well be preemptive and staying with it in case it happens and repeat attack. But I mean, for us the viewers, I can tell you that there is no more bound arcs, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they're still running around like that.
They're still pretty important to the story. I do. They're okay characters. How do you feel about his sister finding out that he's a Soul Reaper?
His oldest sister.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she can see the hollows too, so I feel like she's kind of been drawn into that world a little bit.
But not too much.
So it might have answered some questions for her. I don't remember if she was all that surprised.
Wait. How do you feel about like? Ichigo tapping into his inner hollow and working with the visors.
Oh, that's cool because I was wondering how he was gonna get stronger.
Yeah, so they provided you with a logical way of like, hey, look, he has this alternate hollow inside of him. We saw it when he regained his hollow powers back, and when he was about to turn into a hollow, and then he gained his soul reaper powers back, and now we're
Yeah,
seeing the manifestation of it.
yeah, which I don't even remember how the hollow got in him in the first place.
It was the remember when he lost his powers, um, because Byakuya crossed the soul chain. So he went to Urahara, and then they had like this specific hollow training in order to like get his soul powers back. But he had to overcome the hollow.
Mm. Yeah, I do remember him crushing his chain.
Yeah, see, so that's where that part comes from. That's how the power hollow was inside of him. And then of course you have his like inner Zanpakuto Zangetsu, which how do you feel about the um relation of like the black Zetsu and the white Zetsu?
Well, the white one being the hollow.
Yeah, or like just being that like inner voice is trying to take over.
Um, it's an interesting concept. I wonder if it's like that for everybody. His Bankai seems kind of weird. He just like changes his outfit and then gets a little faster, is all it seems like. Where everybody else kind of has, like Renji summons that snake, and then Byakuya, he kind of can throw like thousands of swords at you, and Kaname can get rid of all your senses. I think him just changing his outfit is kind of lame in comparison to all those ones.
I don't think it was lame. He was able to slice the a million swords that Byakuya threw at him.
Yeah, he just kind of he gets a slimmer outfit, and then he's a little faster.
A little faster, a little. He was literally like he was surrounded by a million swords, and he just literally sliced them all down and went toe to toe with Byakuya as soon as he hopped into Soul Society.
Yeah, so he just becomes like a better swordsman, and then I guess he can fly because they can all fly for some reason. But everybody else has like an actual power. It seems like, but his is
Man, I
he
see you're not
just
too fond of his Bankai.
yeah. I'm more so like Squad 11. They're like all my favorite characters. Ichigo's not my favorite main character of animes that I've seen.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't say he's like as cool as Yusuke or Lelouch.
how is he not cool? I think he's pretty cool, pretty calm minded.
Yeah, no, he's cool, but he's just not my favorite character.
I can see how he doesn't have like the most outlandish personality.
And then Ikkaku and them, they weren't really in the Bount arc that much, so
Mm.
I feel like the show kind of man, that might have been part of the reason I wasn't as into it because they just took out a lot of the characters I like.
They still play major parts in a row. I'll definitely still say for me, my favorite character is still Kenpachi, just because I like what he represents in the show.
Yeah, it was funny. There was a scene where Ikkaku was running off to fight someone. He said he was a man of action, not a man of thought. He's like, I need to be running out there on the front line.
Yeah, so Squad 11 definitely has that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see some of the other squads because I know they showed the research and development squad quite a bit. Their guys actually look really funny. There's some guy
Yeah,
there's like there's some guy in there that looked like a pink frog, and then one of the guys just has horns coming out of his head.
so I mean, he definitely has a weird squad. His squad is like the science tech division. They've been experimenting, so
Yeah,
they're gonna look a little different, but they still got the skills to back it up.
yeah, and then squad 4. I think it'll be cool to see them in action, just healing people up.
Mm.
I'm trying to remember like the white haired captain, and then the
Toshiro.
and then the one captain that's walking around with the flower outfit all the time.
Mm.
It might be cool to see like some of their squad. I know you see
Yeah.
the flower dude's lieutenant with him a lot.
Yeah, I think they mainly focus on like the captain and the lieutenant. Like the squads were the ones like you saw that was running after Orihime and Ishida when they was running through the Solar Society, like them being like the basic black outfits.
Mm-hmm.
those are the squad members you saw chasing after them. So there's not really any important members outside the captain and the lieutenant, but like I guess like the 11th squad is a exception. Or you had that girl
Well,
that
even
was
Squad 4, they showed that one guy that was helping him get through the sewers when they
yeah,
were
and
trying to save Rukia,
yeah, you don't
and
see,
he came to Earth and he was working at the convenience store.
yeah, they were like they get I mean they give them some screen time. That's like all that squad is 12 of those guys. Like they're not going to show you the special story for each and every one, and they're not going to get a lot of screen time.
I did think it was funny, just the dynamic of them showing all the all the characters finding their housing situations.
They have a little bit of comedy relief in there. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, like Ikkaku staying with Ichigo's one friend, so you get to see his family a little bit.
Keiko's sister, she was like, yes, that was funny. I do enjoy her as a little comedy relief character as well.
Yeah, and then they're just showing Rangiku and Orihime liking the same weird food, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, but then they got the captain on top of the house just chilling.
Yeah,
So yeah, I do like that scene. It was kind of like they're still like normal teenagers in the middle of that.
yeah.
And of course, you have Rukia staying with them, which I thought was funny, and then like the lie she made in order to like be able to stay there.
Which I'm surprised Ichigo's dad and Kisuke aren't fighting more. I wonder. I guess when Aizen invades Earth, I wonder if they're going to be fighting.
Maybe I mean Urahara is
He used to be a captain, right?
he did. Okay,
You don't
like
ever really
we're
see him fighting though. And then he made some mention of his Bankai to Renji, saying that his Bankai isn't really helpful for training people. So I'm wondering if it's like super lethal or something.
there is some pretty crazy bunkers out there. I give it that. You just have to wait. Like in later episodes, I remember it goes into the backstory on why Urahara's there and why also Ichigo's dad is there.
Because his dad seemed pretty strong.
I mean, his dad looked at that a rock. His dad basically said he was a captain level too. He's like, when you get to a captain level, you can choose how much energy you want to put into your sword. So we know Ichigo's dad is up there too.
Yeah, which that kind of cleared some stuff up for me because Ichigo's sword would go from that giant thing to his like little more accurate, slimmer sword. And
Mm-hmm.
I was always cute, but they were saying the shape and size doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I mean, they never really said that. He asked why he has like such a big sword.
Well, that one Arankar had one that was bigger than their bodies, and they were pretty much saying that didn't matter.
Oh yeah, it didn't matter. The Iran just didn't know that though.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't forget about Yurichi.
Oh, Yoyorichi?
Yeah, Yurichi.
Yeah, she's cool.
She took down Yami like it was no problem.
Which dude?
Yami or Yami.
Oh, I feel like everyone did except for Orihime. She was
I
like the
mean,
only one struggling.
I mean, she's not an attacking type,
Yeah, which
and he beat down Chad too. He said, "Chad, get the fuck out of here."
well, Chad's kind of ended up being like a Yamcha of the show, or
Sounds like a complete scrub.
like Orihime still has some cool powers, so she might be like Tien or something.
Yeah, he ain't go all the way there. Like he ain't that useless.
Uh, I was almost gonna compare him to Krillin, but I kind of like Krillin. I think Krillin might be more useful than Chad.
I would say no. Krillin has some game saving heroics. Like Chad is not like useless.
I don't know. Renji's dominating him, and I kind of think Renji's one of the weaker characters.
Really.
A little bit. I'm trying to think of like some epic wins he's had. I was gonna say Rukia would be pretty far down on the list, but she actually destroyed one of those Arankar and like two.
Just because you see Rookie in action, you can't just automatically assume she's weak. Like she's part of the family for a reason, and they said she'd be a seated member if it wasn't.
Well, she was pretty weak most of the show, but she also didn't have her powers. She's like, it seems like the whole show she's been saying she's trying to get her powers back.
Yeah. Well, she has them back now, but like that Giga that she was using was weakening her powers the entire time. She just didn't know. But you
Yeah,
need to put some respect on her name because
no, I did immediately. That was an epic fatality that she had on that guy, like a flawless victory. Do we need to talk about Uryuu at all?
Who?
Uryuu, Ishida, the Quincy dude.
Oh, are you? Oh, you see in the sub they called him Ishida.
Yeah, Ishida.
He's not dead.
Yeah, so do we need to talk about him at all?
I mean, he had a short arc. Do you think
Well, his dad's like messing him up right now.
his dad has messed him up? But he said, "Hey, look, take this training so we can get your Quincy powers back," and he accepted that challenge. So now he just has to see the challenge through.
His dad was telling him he can't work with the Soul Reapers anymore. I'm assuming he's gonna do it anyways, because what is there to stop him after he gets his powers back from doing whatever he wants? But
I mean, what if he gets his powers back and his dad is like, "Look, if you work with the Soul Reapers, I'm gonna take it away."
yeah, I don't like Uryuu at all. I remember the first time we did like the first 60 episodes, I was comparing him to like Piccolo. He might just be like that guy that's like a step back the whole show, but keeping up with the Saiyans. He's like a step back, but he's keeping up with the Soul Reapers. I think he's better than Chad for sure, like in his power. But
Damn, you really going in on Chad? Like Chad, he is.
I mean he's pretty weak. He's like Chad's like a step above Orihime in strength, but I would almost rather have Orihime on the squad because she could heal people and make barriers. Chad's just shooting a cannon at people that everyone dodges easily. Everyone dodges that.
I mean, they dodge because he maybe fires up a couple of them. But if he catches you by surprise and hits you with a cannon on the back of your head, he's gonna win.
He's like Cyborg. That's what we were saying the first time.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with being a cyborg in this type of show.
I feel like he can assist you, but he's not taking anyone out one on one. Like you gotta set him up. You gotta be fighting the guy, and then get him in a situation like maybe like push him or attack him to where he dodges back, and then Chad could be like ready, like right wherever he lands.
You got to use your teammates to the best of your abilities. But like a step above Orihime, come on, Orihime is like useless at attacking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would rather just have Orihime on the squad to just like chill in the back and do some shit with her barriers.
Yeah, I think she is more useful, I would say. I can't disagree with that. But and Ishida is a step above Chad. I feel like he's actually competitive. Chad's just not competitive right now, but you see he's taking his training seriously. He's training to get some Bankai. So we'll see what the results of his training is.
It was just like in Dragon Ball Z when like Goku went to King Kai's planet and was training there, and then you see several episodes later, Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu die, and then they go to King Kai's planet. Like he's just always gonna be a step behind. He's gonna be doing he's doing the same training, but by that time Goku's like on to the next thing. Like he's getting waste. He's going super. He's learning to go Super Saiyan while they're doing the training he was doing at the beginning of the series.
But you've seen Ichigo beat Kenpachi. Kenpachi beat Ikkaku. Ichigo beat Ikkaku, and then Grimmjow beat Ichigo pretty easily. Where it's like all these fighters are beating each other down, and now even though Chad's a little bit behind on the training, when he gets to be able to face that Bankai level threat, he's now beating on these Bankai level threats, and it just might be a different match depending on who his matchup is.
Nah, I think Ichigo will be so much further ahead, and all the characters that are relevant are going to be fighting Ichigo. They're not going to be like Chad's going to be way behind. Ichigo was fighting Renji at the beginning of the show, and then comparable to my example, now Chad's doing what Ichigo was doing at the beginning of the show. He's fighting against Renji.
But you cannot say Renji hasn't gotten stronger since he's faced Ichigo. Because when last time he faced Ichigo, he couldn't even use his Bankai the first time he faced him.
He used his Bankai on Byakuya, right?
He did, yeah. At the beginning of the show, he didn't use it on Ichigo. But like,
yeah, I guess they were training in that cave. Or Renji might have gone and trained somewhere else, but they were doing their Bankai training at the same time.
They were, see. So he's gotten stronger since the beginning of the show, and now Chad is the one facing him peak Renji right now, or the best we've ever seen Renji. Ichigo hasn't had that opportunity yet. See, so there's some stuff going on behind the scenes.
I'm just saying, like, Tien to Goku, I think is closer than Chad is to Ichigo. Like, I think Chad's like way weaker. Even though Tien was way weaker, I think he's just even weaker.
I guess I can't say anything to dissuade you from believing in that. It's just
I need to see Chad beat up someone. I've only seen him fight the bounce, really.
And he did decent against those.
Yeah, but I thought they were just kind of lame opponents in general.
That's true. They are.
I want to see him like mess up. Not an Espada, but like just a regular Ronkar. I want to see him kill one of those on his own with no help. And then I'll put some respect on his name. So that's cool. And then I'm also curious to see what's going on with Orihime because it seems like Aizen took an interest in her.
Which I didn't catch it the first time, but I caught it this time. Why was he showing more interest in her than the guy that already has that power and has mastered it?
He might not have known about that, dude.
You don't think Aizen knows about the visors after these visors say they've known everything going on in the Soul Society and they've been keeping tabs on what's going on with Aizen? You don't think Aizen knows who his enemies are?
That's a good point, but no, he very well could. But maybe I don't know if that guy can do all the same stuff as Orihime because Orihime can heal. I don't know if that guy can heal. I just know he can make that barrier.
What do you mean? He healed.
Oh, he did heal that. He healed the clip. You're right.
I was gonna say he bought that from nothing and said, "You can do this too." What are you talking about?
Well, can he do like the attacks that Orihime can do with that one dude that got healed?
I mean, no, he's a visor. He doesn't need to. He has a sword that he can turn into a hollow.
I haven't seen him turn into a hollow yet, so I don't even know what all his powers are or how strong he actually is yet. I don't know. You make a good point. I don't know if that guy can do all the same stuff. Maybe he just sees that she might be easier to manipulate.
I mean, fair point. I don't know. I just see no benefit in when you can just like, yes, maybe easier to manipulate, but a dude that does the exact same thing with way more power, like this dude can turn into half a hollow, and you've been experimenting trying to create a Ronkars. It seems clear cut. Grab this dude up if you're interested in his in those abilities.
Yeah, because Kaname is just following him because he's under some sort of trance, right?
Why do you think he's under some sort of trance?
I thought that's what his power was. I was always confused. I remember on the first episode we were going back and forth about that. I thought that's what Aizen's power was he could like hypnotize people.
Yes, well, he hypnotizes people to make them see illusions. So
I thought that was the whole reason Kaname was following him because he was misled. He might not be like he's deceiving him, like controlling his mind, kind of stuff.
So he's not hypnotizing to see illusions and controlling your mind are two different things.
Yeah, I guess he's just deceiving him to the point where he's like showing him a different reality.
Well, I think it has to be like physical objects. Like he can make his sword appear like a clone of himself, but like,
okay,
he can't make.
That's a little different than what I thought he was actually doing. Like I thought Kaname was like pretty much following him against his own will and judgment.
No, I think he's like not under his trance at all. He just believes in what Aizen is doing. But like maybe Aizen isn't telling him the full scope of what he's doing. Like, hey, look, I'm making a Ronkars. This is the better everybody else.
Yeah, because if he was doing what I thought I was saying, he could just do that to that visor. But yeah, maybe he just knows that visor is like on that squad. He's not gonna deviate to his side, but Orihime would be an easy target to. Because you saw what he did to Momo, like she's obsessed with Aizen. So he's like, maybe I can just do the same to Orihime.
Possibly.
You can trick these women.
Oh, this actually first. I don't know why I didn't say this. He can't be manipulated by Aizen because Aizen uses your sight, in order to like make you see the illusions. Tozen is blind.
And then I guess Tozen's just down for the cause.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so he can't. I
But
think
I
it
thought
says
Tozen like was kind of seeing the world the same way as that Fox captain.
what's
And
that?
then the Fox captain was really shocked when Tozen left with Aizen.
That's true. I mean, maybe he just saw like what Aizen was doing was for the greater good. For it was a cause for justice.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not being manipulated. He's following him on his own free will.
Kind of like Madara thought the Tsukunome was for the greater good.
Yeah, just for that dude to end up being manipulated into like bringing down another fucking Earth and another reality. That's still a large ass stretch. And upon watching Bleach again and remembering what it was for the culture, I have to put it above Naruto. So like Naruto sinks even further down to my rankings.
I don't know. I'm not putting this show above Naruto yet.
Oh, you will. You will. By the time I don't even want to give you anything foreshadowing. We're just gonna have to watch the episodes and see.
I don't know her name, but that little girl, the visored, the one that's fighting Ichigo, I think she's kind of cool.
Oh, I think her name is Haku.
It could be. There's her, and then there's that visor that looks like that guy from Death Note. He looks like Mello.
Oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, that one visor looks like Mello a little bit.
Her name was not Haku. I was thinking of Shinji Hiraku, that's what his name is.
Yeah, I can't even go through this. Like,
her name is
here it is. Wonder Weiss, maybe. Margella.
No. Whoa. Yeah, back out of that one. That's a huge spoiler if you haven't read that one.
Okay, well, not that character. That's what I'm saying. There's like so many characters on here. I don't even know.
You should not. I refrain you from like looking at. You shouldn't look up any characters from now on.
I'm just on my anime list looking at character names.
Dang, delete that from your memory.
I already scrolled away. I don't even know her name. Yeah, there's just way too many characters on here.
Yo, her name is Hiyori Sarugaki.
Yeah, but she seems kind of cool. She's kicking Ichigo's ass a little bit, telling him he's slow.
I like their dynamic.
He's not putting his mask on quick enough.
How do you feel about Orihime and Ichigo?
I don't think he really thinks of her the same way that she's thinking about him. I don't think Ichigo is going to end up with any of these girls, but if anything, I feel like he's closer to Rukia.
So you like you can see the jealousy from Orihime onto Rukia.
Yeah.
Because Rob thought the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's clear that in battle, I think he thinks about Orihime when she's like right in front of him. He's like, oh, I gotta protect Orihime right now. But I think other times, like he went all the way to the Soul Society to save Rukia.
Yeah, see, to me, I don't know why. Ever since like they first met each other, I always had that brother-sister vibe between him and Rukia, and it seemed clear as day that the romance would be between Ichigo and Orihime.
I don't think he's gonna end up with either of them, but I don't. I see what you're saying, but I don't know that it's a brother-sister relationship. I think it could be more than that, but I don't think he ends up with any of them.
Makes sense. I like that.
He's already got sisters. I don't know if he's thinking of her the same way that he thinks of his actual sisters.
I think so. I could be wrong though.
I mean, I guess Orihime would be the better looking one.
Dang, is you trying to throw Rukia under the bus like that?
She's not as voluptuous, I guess.
What about the personality though? You're telling me Orihime's personality is better than Rukia's personality?
Oh no. She's kind of ditzy a little bit.
I mean, she's a little slow, not too bad.
It might be just an act though, because she'll be deep in thought, and then she'll be like, "Oh, why am I thinking about this? I should be thinking about what I'm going to do this weekend."
Yeah, see, she's positivity pumping it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think there's too much romance.
It is a shonen anime for a reason.
Does that mean that there's supposed to be some?
No, there's usually not romance in shonen anime. It's like
Well, in Naruto they had Naruto and the girl with the Byakugan.
Hinata.
Yeah.
It was a little bit, but I mean, if you think about it, like
Then they have everyone's liking Sasuke.
yeah, that's not really romance. It's like having a crush. But you got Naruto, Attack on Titan, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z. They essentially just threw Goku and Chi Chi together, and it was like didn't delve on that relationship at all. They just had like two kids, and then he's still fighting people.
Yeah, I might have to go back and watch Dragon Ball. I just haven't got around to that because I feel like it's not gonna be the same because I'm used to watching Goku go Super Saiyan and fight these guys, and he can't even do that in Dragon Ball. So
You can kind of do that. To me, Dragon Ball was like it was pure. It's hard to
I
find.
can see it being more of adventure,
adventure.
like trying to it's more centered around the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, so like the adventure for Dragon Ball was to me really good. It was definitely the best adventure out of all of them. But Dragon Ball Z, you can't. It doesn't compare with the action.
Yeah. I think those were pretty much all the characters I wanted to talk about. Yeah, they're showing the captain a little bit. They're the head captain, the bald dude. Um,
Yamamoto.
I still just think it's weird that Byakuya was gonna let Rukia die, so I can't really be down with him because of that. I just didn't really understand that at all.
I mean, it didn't say that he didn't have good reasons. He just had reasons.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand. I feel like he had enough influence and he's powerful enough where he could have maybe stopped that.
He could have stopped it, but
He didn't even try. Ichigo had to go save him.
rules are
Go save
rules
her.
for a reason. He was following the rules. What if he was a breadwinner and he lost his captain status? Then everyone was like, "Wow, he's not the captain anymore." He taking Rookie away anyways, and his whole family disbands. He was following the rules of his society.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like yo, I just imagine one of your friends. He might have murdered those five dudes, but he did it for a good cause. These five dudes end up being murderers as well. So he murdered
I don't
those.
think I don't think Rukia's crime was that severe. It pretty much happened because Ichigo touched her.
What do you mean?
It's not like she bestowed her powers on him.
He did. She said, "Take these powers from me," and he took them.
I thought he like accidentally took them.
No. She was like, "Do you want to save your family?" And she was like, "Stab the sword, and you'll get some of my power to fight." She gave him his powers. She went to the world of the living and gave a random dude some power, like a powerful ass sword and the ability to like destroy things. As pretty egregious.
I thought he like touched her and took some of it, and then she gave him the rest of it because her
No.
power was already like split in half.
No. She said, "Take some of my power," and then he took it, but he took all of it. She was like, "Why? How was he able to take him so much of my power?" She didn't mean to give him so much. He just ended up taking it.
Mm. I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe
Either way,
she shouldn't have done that. So, well, Ichigo's obviously going to become the hero of the universe. So
that's true. But like, look,
so it worked. It worked out for him.
Imagine you have like
He became an ally. He wasn't an enemy.
Yeah, it's true. But imagine you have like 30 or 40 guns, and you're just like, damn, I can't sell these in America. So you hop over to China and you start selling guns on the street, and you're just like, well, it's not it shouldn't be illegal over here. That's essentially what you're saying Rukia did, and that is pretty egregious. Like if you go back, if you stole some military grade weapons, and then you go back to the U.S. and they're like, hey, Matt, what about those military grade weapons that you sold over in China? You're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get reprimanded. Are you saying that you shouldn't?
I just feel like he should have saved his sister though.
His sister committed murder. She committed murder by association. She
I
broke
guess.
like one of the most sacred rules in the Soul Society.
I didn't think it was that big a deal, but
But
they could have just kept tabs on Ichigo. Like killing her doesn't resolve the problem of him running around with those powers. You should have been like, Rukia, you caused this. You got to go solve it. Like maybe they should have told Rukia to put Ichigo in the ground.
But they can't do that because she doesn't have her soul society powers. What do you mean? She has no powers, so she couldn't do that. Which is
Well,
why
then she's already useless, and why you got to kill her?
exactly she's already useless. Might as well execute her.
I guess put her out of her misery.
Like to us, like if we decide to go to another country and we're just like, hey, look, this is what's going on in the U.S. This is what I know about the government. Cool. If someone in the government or someone from the military decides to go to another country and start telling them trade secrets, it's a little bit more egregious. It is a more serious crime. Might not be that important to us, like saying what we know about America, but as somebody in the military, in the government, it is very important. And that's how the Soul Society is. Like these captains and lieutenants are in that government, and she breached what she was not supposed to do, which is going to another world and give her powers, the secrets of the Soul Society, to a random human. So she deserved to be put. She deserved to be put down. I'm surprised she still survived. I would like when she got back to the Soul Society, I would have been like, well, execution is still on. So
Well, that's on them for dragging it out. Like they should have just put her down right away. They gave Ichigo too much time.
you gotta give her some respect. You can't just like put her down like that. Give her court due process.
They're just dragging it out. I feel like that makes it even worse for Rukia. She's just alone with her thoughts, knowing she's gonna get killed.
Hey, that's what you gotta do. A little psychological torture before you put them down.
But how's that respecting of you? You said you got to give her some respect.
Respect by having the process of it leading up to it.
I guess.
But either way, she survived. Byakuya was just following the rules of the clan. I don't think he should be faulted for that, or it's not as much at fault. He can grow from that. He obviously has changed the era of his ways, and that's what you should want to see. You should want to see character development.
Yeah, I want to see him fight some because I've really only seen him fight Ichigo. I do want to say I want to see Ichimaru a little more and Kenpachi. So I'm hoping they get some action in these upcoming episodes, this next arc.
Be interesting. We got a good arc ahead of us.
And your boy Ukiura.
Ukiura, definitely.
Yeah, he seems pretty ominous. I haven't seen him much either, but I kind of liked him out of the ones that they were showing me so far. So look forward to seeing him fight. And the show definitely picked up after that terrible filler arc. So I'm glad that it got right back into it because I was pretty much at an all-time low with the show, and they flipped it around quick.
Flip the script. Time for us to get back on the train track. We finna see it through. Next arc is going to be really good. Keep the action going.
And we'll see you then.
All I have.
Yep. All right. Well, Anime Bros out.
Peace.
Would she beat Kakashi?
That'd be interesting. I think like obviously Kakashi with a Sharingan, hell fucking no. He had to have a huge nerf, not having the reason why he's like Kakashi of the Sharingan eyes in order for her to have a chance of beating him.
She got that diamond thing on her head. She was pretty strong.
I mean, yeah, she was pretty strong. It's just the other Hokage were stronger. Like, yeah,
I'm saying versus Kakashi.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but this is what I'm saying though. Like Kakashi is probably the only one that she would have a decent chance of beating up, and he's one of the lower level Hokage. He would never beat the other 4 or the other 5.
But yeah, so I was just curious about that fight. Who you would take?
It'd be hard to say. We haven't seen any feats of Kakashi without his Sharingan eyes.
No, like include a Sharingan.
Oh, including Sharingan, definitely him. He probably smack her around.
Well, he pretty much lost to
That's like the second strongest dude in the series.
I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he lost to that guy at the very beginning of the show that put him in that
Zabuza?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like
I think Tsunade would beat him up though.
Yeah, Tsunade would definitely beat him up, but like you can't compare Kakashi at the beginning of the series to Kakashi with 2 Sharingans in his head. or Kakashi at the end of Naruto.
I guess I didn't really finish Naruto, so I just remember him having the one Sharingan. He got another one.
I mean, Obito gave him his Sharingan in order to like do like the perfect Sasuno in order to fight Madara at the end.
Okay, so yeah, scrap that. I'm talking about when he was actually made Hokage.
When he's so after that, both of his Sharingans disappeared because his Sharingan technically got snatched out by Madara. But I'm saying that like if you take him in his prime and like around episode 200 of Shippuden, if you take his early
Wasn't
version,
he Hokage after Danzo?
no, because after Danzo, we went back to Tsunade because she woke up and she was like, she was able to retain her Hokage title.
Okay, so when was Kakashi Hokage?
Kashi was Hokage after like the time skip. Like it was like they said, "Hey, look, Naruto, you should be Hokage. You're still a Genin," and then they made Kakashi the Hokage.
What happened right after Danzo? And then Tsunade woke. I thought he was only like a temporary Hokage.
So there was an episode, like I think it said like Kakashi was about to become Hokage, but like when Danzo was chosen, it was because Tsunade was in a coma or something, and she woke up from that and retained her title as Hokage.
Okay, so right when Tsunade wakes up, if she were to fight Kakashi, who do you think would win?
Kakashi easily.
Okay, so you think he was stronger right there?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, that can be another question that we can open up to others that want to chime in. But
Yeah, I just you really think Tsunade would be Kakashi?
I just remember there was a scene when she was fighting Madara and that diamond on her forehead disappeared, I believe, and she like went into beast mode.
She did. I don't know.
And she's pretty strong.
He's pretty strong, but like these people out here, the general consensus looks like it's Kakashi.
Oh, they actually have that up online. They have a poll for it.
They'll have a poll for it, but it's like
You on some forum?
yeah, I'm looking at multiple forums.
Well, maybe it's already decided.
Either way, you can take Tsunade. I'll take Kakashi with confidence, and we'll see.
I don't know. I was just saying. I think it'd be closer than you think. I might still go Kakashi. But you're out here like saying it's like not even worth a discussion.
No, it's not worth a discussion.